Yeah, baby, yeah, baby, yeah, baby, yeah, baby. DJ S doing this show for we is real good. Yeah. So basically, this show is about Tupac. So the question is, was Tupac a good influence on the or not? Yeah. Was Tupac good for I mean, Tupac's so big, his impacts, past just being for black people. So basically, was Tupac good for the world and for the youth of the world? Of course, mainly black people, but other youth as well. So that's the question. I mean, myself, yeah, I'm a Tupac fan. Yeah. But truth be told, I mean, I have some Tupac posters in my house. Or at least one anyway. He's got his thug life. He's got a gun in his waist. He's smoking a blunt or whatever, and the other finger's going like this. So, I mean, I look at these pictures and I think, well, is this really good? Yeah? Is this really a good image for the world to be copying? I mean, like when Tupac first died, I think after Tupac died, his influence was very strong. I think it's waned a bit now. Yeah. I mean, obviously it's still there, but you could see it more in the street. Guys with bandanas tying their head. You could really feel the Tupac influence, and especially when they released a new album, there's new rappers for them to follow. Jay-Z, Drake, and whoever. Yeah. So, I don't really feel it. I don't really hear people calling his name, but the videos are still there. You can still see videos on YouTube and whatnot. The question is, was he good? A good influence or not? Yeah. I mean, in my opinion, he's one of the greatest rappers. He's not the greatest rapper, yeah, but he's one of the greatest. So for me, you got certain rappers that are all good. It's hard to really separate them. Who was the best? But then again, I do have somebody in mind who I think is the best. Yeah. But there's some, like, who would I say? I would say Tupac is great. Busta Rhymes, 50 Cent, Snoop Dogg, LL Cool J, Eminem. Who else is there? Young Buck. Yeah, Keras One, Ice Cube. Yeah. There's a lot. For me, yeah, for me, there's maybe, I say 10 to 15. They're all in the top group. Now I'm gonna call a name now, yeah? I'm gonna call this name. I don't even like this guy anymore. Yeah, he's a piece of shit. But I cannot deny his influence on hip hop, making hip hop a global music, which was transformed from just being a ghetto music to being in the pop charts. And that's Will Smith. Yeah. Will Smith, he done something in hip hop. And he's a great lyricist. He's definitely a great lyricist, but this dude is dodgy, man. Like all what he done with his kids. Yeah. His son's a girl. Yeah. And his daughter's a boy. Yeah. And all this fuckery. It's total bullshit. So why is Will Smith doing that? You think he's just doing that because the thoughts are in his head? Somebody's making him doing it. And I can bet you any money they're promising him, you're gonna one day you'll be a future president of the USA if you do us this favor. Do us this favor, and one day you'll be one of the future presidents of the United States. In fact, that guy Flow Rider said it in one of his songs, I'll be the president one day, because that's what they promised them. Do this for us, president. So Will Smith now, yeah, he's stolen his children's sexuality, because that's what they want, isn't it? They want like a kind of a world where, yeah, transgender rule, maybe there's no sex. That's it. Soon we'll start mating with ourselves. A man won't need a woman and a woman won't need a man. Somehow we'll fuck ourselves. Yeah, because we're transsexual. We're half male and half female. Yeah, I mean, that's how it is already in Southeast Asia. So why not the rest of the world too? So, like I said, I don't like this Will Smith. Not at all. He's a piece of shit. And when he started in hip hop, it was like, oh, they say, oh, Will, why don't you cuss? Why don't you have profanity in your lyrics? Oh, if I do that, my dad will whoop my behind. Like he's such a wholesome, decent boy. Then one day someone told me about a movie called, was it 6 Degrees of Separation? When I saw that movie, I couldn't believe it. Yeah. And that's when I really realized what Will Smith was and all these stories in the music business. You know, the music business, what you have to do, the Illuminati, yeah, all this stuff. You know what I mean? I didn't really believe it. I saw Will Smith in this movie. We could have something here. Yeah. So yeah, I suppose you can't deny Will Smith, because it was LL Cool J and Will Smith, yeah, who really made hip hop what it is today, a global loved music. Will Smith was bringing up the pop, and LL Cool J LL Cool J was keeping it, you know, really keeping it ghetto. Yeah. What's the term? Street? Underground, yeah, that's it. LL Cool J was keeping it the underground hip hop. But I also used to like Will Smith. In fact, I didn't even know his name was Will Smith. I used to call him the Fresh Prince, or whatever he was called. Yeah, Fresh Prince. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. He done some good tunes. So I can't deny it was him and LL. Yeah, back to Tupac. But yeah, Tupac I think is probably in my top 3. Yeah, maybe my top 3. But it was good when he done that tune, Two of America's Most Wanted. Yeah, so it was him and Snoop. So everybody thought, oh, Tupac would be better than Snoop. No, but not lyrically. Not lyrically. Somehow Snoop, that's why I love Snoop. Snoop was somehow able to draw it out of the bag, yeah, that he outdone Tupac lyrically. And that's where, in my opinion, I could be wrong, but in my opinion, that's why Tupac started all the acting. It was in the courtroom, yeah. He couldn't win the battle of the rap, so he'll make it more visual. So he got up and he started doing all this crazy stuff in the court. You know what I mean? So it wouldn't look like Snoop, him. You know what I mean? But in my opinion, yeah, the best rapper, and he's got a brilliant catalog, is Snoop Dogg. That's my opinion. Snoop Dogg is the greatest rapper of all times, and he's got such a long distinguished career. Yeah. But yeah, Snoop and Tupac were both at death row. And Suge Knight said in a video, towards the end, they hated each other. Yeah, they started off as good friends, but towards the end, they hated each other. Yeah, but you know, I mean, Tupac really made some brilliant records at Death Row Records, and I particularly love the stuff he done with Johnny J. Yeah, but Johnny J, I think he died in police custody or something. He was in a police station and somehow he died. This music business is evil. You're joining this music business and you're as good as dead. You know what I mean? How can you just die in a police custody? Isn't someone looking out for you? They're supposed to keep looking every 15 minutes, and somehow Johnny J mysteriously dies. But in fact, the first time I saw, yeah, it was on cable TV in the 90s, yeah, and Kilburn, and they was installing Kilburn. They was installing satellite boxes, yeah. What was they calling it back there? Cable TV, yeah, cable boxes in the flats, yeah. And my friend, when I first saw Brenda had a baby, so I was blown away by this talent and this person. But somehow I didn't know it was Tupac. Yeah, I didn't know it was Tupac because I wasn't really following hip hop to that level. I like songs of it, but at that time I was more into Prince and singer songwriters. That's who I was. That's who was I was watching. And then I was looking for this guy. Sometimes people be talking about Tupac, like my friend's girlfriend, who was actually a white girl. She'd be talking to me about Tupac, and I'd be like, yeah, yeah. I didn't even know who the fuck she was talking about. Yeah. And then when Tupac died and they played his back catalogue, it was Brenda had the baby. I said, yeah, that's that guy. That's the guy. That's the guy I was looking for him. That was the guy I was trying to see what he'd done next. When I saw Brenda had the baby, that blew me away. That was fantastic. You know, it was good lyrics, good video, and it meant something. Because that's what I really like, music that means something. Do you know what I mean? Like certain records now, some of the bullshit they're playing now, I don't want to sound old school because there's always a battle. Yeah. When the new artists come out, the older generation starts to say, oh, in my day, it was better. And you know what I mean? I don't believe that for myself. Yeah. I don't, if you have this attitude, oh, the 80s were better, the 90s were better, 2000 was better, 2000 to 2010 was better, you know, you just kind of get old and you get stale. I like to keep abreast of everything, and I still like modern music. Yeah, and I play modern music on my set. Do you know what I mean? So I'm not guilty of that at all. Yeah, but the guy had good lyrics, something. But now, like these guys are rapping some bullshit, and you can't even understand what they're saying. The people behind the music industry have made it so the lyric doesn't even matter anymore. His voice doesn't matter. You can just, as long as you can make a noise and they can make a video, they'll market you and get it out there. Dude, what's his name? Playboy Carti. I mean, I was listening to the song Magnolia. Like, you really have to strain hard to hear the lyric. Before, you didn't have to strain. Lyric was important. You know, when the artist was in the studio recording, it would be important that the word is heard. Yeah, the lyrics are heard. Now, you can't hear anything. You can't even hear the artist. Yeah. Tupac done his movies. What was that one called there? He was Bishop and he had a razor blade in his mouth. That movie was evil. But Tupac really was brilliant. He really done a fantastic performance in that movie. Yeah? Yeah, Tupac killed it, bruv. Yeah, he done some other movies, but that's the one I guess I like the best. But also I like Trapped. Yeah? Yeah, Trapped. That was a brilliant video. And they got the nigga fighting in the cell. Yeah. Yeah, that was good. But yeah, to me, Tupac is definitely in my top 10, probably the top three. And he also has that album that produced by Eminem. What was that album called? Yeah, I like that album as well. Got some good tracks on there. Hennessy. And got a lot of good tracks there. But like, Tupac, he was in beef with people. Yeah. and he went to prison. Of course, he went to prison, and that's why he signed with Death Row Records. Yeah, he went in. Suge Knight went in there and he signed the contract to get him out of prison, and that's when he signed with Death Row, and it was a big success. Death Row was the biggest record company at that time, because it was all East Coast. All the best rappers, the original rappers, where rap came from, New York, East Coast, and then somehow it all went to West. It was all about the West Coast. Do you know what I mean? But in all that negativity, the image, the fighting, at the end of the Tyson fight, somehow the Mike Tyson fight, these guys managed to fight somebody. They was kicking some guy because he apparently stole a chain. Suge Knight said he stole our chain. So they marched him. Tupac was kicking him or hitting him. It just looked terrible. When you see the video, and even Suge Knight kicked him in the head with his left leg, it just looked just like total rubbish. Bunch of thugs. Bunch of bullies. I mean, how could you be at the top of the world? You're at the top of the world, your image, you're in the newspapers, magazines, you're on TV, and you have time, to be beating someone up and kicking their head in over, supposedly he took a chain. It just sounds so childish. But, I'm not from the West Coast. I don't understand all this gang business, all this Bloods and Crips. So to say that it's childish, but it just seems so stupid. Then at the end of that fight, that's when Tupac was shot in the car next to Suge Knight and was killed. So there's many conspiracy theories that said that Suge Knight set that whole thing up to kill Tupac for his royalties. But, it's just conspiracy. Nobody really knows. And he was even willing to take a bullet, say it would look like he's an innocent party. Yeah? Was this guy Orlando Bloom? Orlando Anderson? This guy was the one who was supposed to have killed Tupac. Yeah? I mean, I've seen so many documentaries about who killed Tupac and all the rest of it. But when you see the picture of Tupac when he was in his autopsy picture, they carved this guy like a piece of meat. Yeah. Who could be a surgeon? He just cut the man, you can see the open wound. And I think he had one on the head, but I can remember like the chest, the meat was cut open and he was just dead. Do you know what I mean? But people still think he's alive after seeing that picture. Out of all of these rappers, I say Tupac was the best in one respect. He genuinely tried to do something good. Yeah? Genuinely tried to do something positive for Black people. That's what he was saying. He said, if you see me in 3 years' time, he's going to be doing something in politics. Yeah? So behind all thug life and he's fighting and he's kicking somebody's head in and all the rest of it, he still was trying to do something positive. And that's why I like Tupac. And the lyrics was always something positive for somebody, the youngsters, to learn from. Yeah? And respecting Black women. Yeah? What did he say? Can't find the words now, but he was saying something about calling a woman bitches. We're going to grow up. Yeah, you're going to grow up to hate the ladies that create the babies. Words to that effect. Trying to be positive. And where the other rappers didn't really try. It's only really KRS-One who was conscious, doing conscious rap. And a few others. Obviously, there's Talib Kweli or whatever. But I'm talking about of that era. Yeah? Was a mainstream rapper trying to say something positive to lead the children in a positive direction. Business, they have to promote wickedness and evil. Because in fact, there was a documentary about when the people behind the music business decided that rap was going to be the mainstream music. They did. We're going to ditch rock and roll. We're going to ditch rock. Yeah. We're going to ditch rock and we're going to bring hip hop in. as the new mainstream music. So there was supposed to be a meeting, and the top rap executives were brought forward, and they basically were told that you are going to destroy your race. Yeah, what you're going to do, we're going to use this music to put people in prison. Yeah, because, well, maybe they didn't say why, but basically we need the people in prison to do manufacturing. Yeah, they can't compete with Asia, Bangladesh and Cambodia. I think now the main two cheapest places in the world to get labor, especially for clothing. Yeah. So basically the people in those countries who work under like slave conditions, and they don't get paid properly. That's how the companies in the West are able to make a profit, because the people who manufacture it don't get paid well. So basically the idea in the West is we'll create this music and it would lead people astray. They don't be acting crazy like Tupac and the other gangster rap, because at that time, remember, it was called gangster rap. Now it's just rap, but at that time it was gangster rap. And Snoop Dogg was the one who brought it out with Death Row and Suge Knight. Yeah. So these guys will be acting out because we'll brainwash them with this music. And then when they're in prison, they can manufacture stuff. They can make stuff. And basically they'll just eat rice. Was it beans? Because Rick Ross, the real Rick Ross, Freeway Ricky Ross, not the fat, obese rapper that's, what's he call himself? Maybach Music. No, not that nigger that was a prison officer. Ross. Yeah. He was saying that when he's in prison, he was just eating beans. He might have a carton of milk, some beans. Basically, his diet for the day would just be £2. I mean, $2. Yeah. So they got them in there working, doing whatever they're making, manufacturing, whatever. And it's only costing $2 a day. So that was why they need to get these black guys into the prison. But then it starts with black guys. But once this music is so powerful, the whole world starts to copying it. And then white guys from the suburbs in America get drawn into it, and white guys in Britain and white guys in Europe and everyone all around the world. Asians, Muslims, Pakistan, Koreans, Japanese, Thai guys, whatever. The whole world just start copying this thing. Yeah, because it's so powerful. So then, yeah, they married the prison culture onto the hip hop. So the guys started walking with their trousers down low, which is what some of the fuck niggas do in the penitentiary. So they brought that out now. So everybody's walking down with their trousers low. But that one couldn't be accepted. Yeah. It couldn't be accepted because it's disgusting. So what they've done now, the manufacturers of clothes, they've done it a different way. So you might not see the arse out, the buttocks and the cleft, what do they call it? The batty crease, what do they call it? Whatever. The line in between the two buttocks, yeah? So they just manufacture trousers now where the crotch is very low, so it looks like it's hanging down, because the other one was too disgusting and it could, you couldn't be accepted. Society wouldn't accept that, so they found a different way to create the same image. Yeah. So then Professor Griff done a video, and he said, they're after the souls of the children. Yeah, he said they're after the souls of the children, and I kind of sniggered. I said, well, it's not that bad, is it? Within 6 months of that video, I could see exactly what he was saying. All the evil that they was doing to snatch the children's soul, to corrupt the children, to just destroy humanity by using this music, hip hop. Yeah. And that's another thing Louis Farrakhan said as well. He was saying, as an artist, you'd want to bring out a nice record, and the people behind the scenes would say, no. Make a filthy one first. Then after you make the filthy one, we'll put out the filthy one. And I've noticed that before I heard Farrakhan say that, some guys would release a record and the first one would be proper like funky or proper street, but the ones after that it would be different. But you want them to continue in the same vein as they did with the first one. But that's the deal with Satan. Yeah, you have to release a dirty, filthy record first. Then after you've created that filthy record and it's had a negative effects on society and the globally and worldwide, then you can release the more soft, the more mellow stuff. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, called a French R&B singer, Wallen. She done what's called Set La Vie or something. She done one song. It was really, really, really good. Yeah. And then she was out there gambling with her family or whatever. And then she tipped over the table. And this Wallen was hot, man. It was a really good music. Then after that, she started to do softer, more boring music. I said, what's wrong with her? But I understand why now. That Set La Vie or whatever it was called was probably her first release. So she had to do the filthy one. Yeah, so like I say, yeah, so Tupac now, he's the best out of a lot of them. You know, he said something positive. In fact, what I haven't done, you know, he was supposed to have some poetry, his poetry to be released. Somehow I don't know, I haven't, you know, to check out his poetry. I spoke to a friend of mine. That was about 3 years ago. He said, yeah, it's good. It's very good, but it would be. Do you know what I mean? But I haven't had the chance to check it out. Yeah, Tupac was also saying, if you see me in 3 years, you know, he'll be into politics. He wanted to get into politics. I think maybe form his own party. You think they're going to let him form his own party and direct the people into something good? Of course not. Well, I mean, all the mayhem you see around you is there by design. If they want it to be, all the madness you see in society, yeah? That's why they want to legalize marijuana, yeah? And everyone's now walking around like zombies looking at their smartphone. You think the people who's running things can't see now this is like a problem. I heard the other day now, I think somewhere in America, they're going to start putting what do they call them? The pedestrian crossing. You know, you have to press the button. You have to press the button, yeah? So you can pass the black and white zebra crossing. Now, they're going to put them further now on the pavement or something, the sidewalk. Because what's happening now, people are pressing it and walking into the road looking at their phone and getting hit and killed and injured. So now they believe they put it further on the pavement, you know, the person who's in a trance looking at their phone won't just step into the road and be killed. So, yeah. Some of the things I'm seeing, like you see somebody, they got headphones on, yeah? I mean, when you're in the street, you have to have your wits about you. How can I be walking in the street with headphones on? I can't hear what's happening. I can't hear if anyone's coming behind me to kill me, rob me. I can't hear if there's a dog biting at my ankles. Yeah, I can't hear nothing. I can't hear the traffic. I can't hear nothing because I've got this thing on my head. Yeah. What is it about? Yeah. It's not good. You, when you're walking the street, you've got to have your wits around you. Some of the things I say, you see a girl, she was riding her bicycle. She had the phone hitched in there and she's riding. I see people like, you know, the bicycle, you're supposed to have two hands, yeah? So the guy, he's got his smartphone there and he's riding and he's talking. How can he stop the bike in an emergency when gripping the handlebars? Now it's like this, holding the phone. I see the stupidest things now because of this fucking phone. You know what I mean? People got to wake the fuck up, man. You know what I mean? So like I said, yeah, so at least Tupac was trying to do something good. Look who we got now. It's all just garbage. And they're blatantly like Satanists. You see all these artists now with tattoos on their face. And it has an effect. Because other people want to emulate them, they copy them. One guy, it wasn't that big, but he had tattoos on his face. And then they were saying something on the radio, and the person didn't know his name, so he said the one with the ink on his face. He just had to laugh. The one with the ink on his face. But this guy's a young dude. He's a young guy, man, about 22. He's been influenced by this rubbish. It's okay for fucking Gucci Man and whoever, Lil Wayne, to have tattoos on their face because they're rich. They're never ever gonna need a job. Yeah? Well, you know what I'm saying. They're never gonna need a job, yeah? People who's copying these people with tattoos on your face, the game and whoever it is, Kodak Black, whoever it is, you need to fit into society. You need to have a job. Yeah? You might need to hail a cab. If you got a tattoo on your face, the cab's not gonna stop for you. Once people see that tattoo on your face, all you can face is discrimination. They have an image of you. Go for a job interview. Who's going to give you a job? I was working with this girl. This girl was some beautiful girl, absolutely beautiful mixed race girl. Yeah, black and white. But then she was affected with this tattoo stuff. I could tell she was never ever going to stop. Tattoo here, tattoo there. Then she started to tattoo her knuckles. Yeah. About job. What are you going to do? How are you going to get a job? So I've got a job. But you can't just keep in the whole of your life. You can't just keep working in a nightclub environment. Or when you get older, she's in her 20s now, whatever she was, 24, 25. When you get to like say fucking 50 or whatever, you might be too old to work in a nightclub. You want to go and work somewhere else, but now you can't get a job because you've got a tattoo on your face. And I'm sure since I last saw that girl, when was that? Last year, August? Oh, how many tattoos do you think she's had? You think she's satisfied with what she had? When people have an addiction for getting tattooed, that's all they think about all day. What tattoo am I going to get next? I guarantee you that girl's got more tattoos from I last saw her last August. You know what I mean? Yeah. But like I said, at least Tupac, he tried his best to do something positive. But somehow the message wasn't allowed to come out. And, the only thing we could see is that he was a thug. That's the lasting image of him. A gun in the waist. Yeah. Finger up like this. Smoking a motherfucking blunt, baby. Okay. DJS, and I'm out.